Puttering around in retirement. It's a thing. Good morning. This is Robert with Robert's Active Retirement. I say good morning because I just got back from a 5K this morning, Saturday morning. I happened to come in first in my age bracket, which is 75 to 79. I'm 77. And yeah, there were more than one person before you ask. There were 3 people in the race. I came in first. This morning, I'd like to talk about something that's a simple pleasure in retirement. Before I do that, I wanted to thank you very much for all the new subscribers. Thanks very much for any returning subscribers, of course. Everything in retirement is not the big dreams that you dream of. It's not the travel and the big things you're trying to accomplish in retirement. Sometimes it's just the day in, day out stuff. And I'm going to talk about one of those. And I think it's one of those things that I say I'm a veteran retiree, started in 18 years ago retiring. And I think it's just something you notice. And that is puttering around is a thing in retirement. So what does that mean? What is puttering around? Puttering around is kind of like you go from thing to thing, usually around your house, and you get little things accomplished. The timing is natural. You kind of do things on your own terms. You're the management of your own time. You do things that you want to do. And they call that puttering around. It's an activity. So you're not being lazy. You're not a couch potato. So that's a good thing, right? Being active. I think what I've noticed is 4 or 5 people in my section of my community, I would say, fall in this category. And I know a couple of people on YouTube that will fall in this category. And what they do is if you go by their house, they're usually walking around the house. They're usually in the garage. They may have a chair in the garage they sit in sometimes. But mostly they're up and doing. Well, I'm going to generally say a man. I know women putter around also. I know a little bit about that, but not much. Mostly the men. They are handy. They fix things. They know how to do things. They got a shop in the garage, or at least a pegboard with tools. People that putter around all the time may be mistaken to be antisocial. They're not. They're not. They like to talk, I think. They just like to be busy and they be productive and active, doing their own thing. But if you walk in front of their house and they're there, you can stop and talk 20, 30 minutes. Or if they go down to McDonald's, get a cup of coffee, they may join a group. They run into people at the hardware store. But they are pretty well homebodies. I'd say they like to be at home. They don't like to take big trips. They don't like to have scheduled meetings and activities outside the house too much. They like to stay home and putter around. No deadlines or stress. They're just happy to do it at their own pace. And this also brings a sense of accomplishment. They complete little small projects, and they did it themselves. And I would say this, being my career partly an accountant, partly a real estate broker for 40 years, you don't normally do repairs yourself. You hire somebody to do that. Well, when you get to retirement, you can hire somebody to do it, but if you do those little things yourself, there's a sense of accomplishment. There's pride of a workmanship in doing something yourself. Landscaping is a wonderful puttering around job to have in retirement. Even if you hire somebody to do your landscaping, there's all kind of stuff to be done. So how is this different in retirement, puttering around? Well, it's a little different, but it's much the same too. I know all of us putter around a little bit, but there is time. You just have time to do things at your own pace. Get it done naturally. You get in the zone and you let things flow. And just at your own pace, you get things done. And there's a sense of accomplishment that comes from that. So just a short video to talk about something I had on my mind, puttering around. Maybe build a little time to putter around your own house. Puttering around can be fun. It can be satisfying. It's a thing in retirement. Thanks everybody for all the comments you've been making. I really appreciate that. I've got several suggestions for future videos, and I've got that on my list of videos to do. So thanks very much for those suggestions. I appreciate that. Let me know, do you putter around? Did my explanation of puttering around change your view of puttering around? Is it activity? Not being lazy? Have you thought of it that way? Let me know in the comments.